Chodesh Tov. Hope you're having a good day on this day of Rosh Chodesh Shevat, which is the 11th month in the Jewish calendar. As we know, Nisan is the first month, so Adar is the month before, makes it 12th, and this month is the 11th month. The word Shevat is an acronym, 3 letters, Shin, Beit, and Tet. Shin is Shenishma, Beit is Besurot, and Tet is Tovot. We should hear good tidings and good news. You see, sometimes you see something, and on the surface, it's dark, it's painful. But we always say, Shenishma Besurot Tovot, that we should see from the darkness, we should see something positive, something good. It should be potential for something to come from it. Shvat is the month when we celebrate Tu B'Shvat, which is the Rosh Hashanah for the trees, which is on the 15th of Shvat, but in fact, according to Shammai, we begin celebrating it on the 1st of Shvat. Why would we be celebrating the trees in the middle of the winter? And the reason is because in Israel, this is when the rainy season ends. And although it's not spring yet, it's where the sap begins to have the potential to have the budding spring in the trees. And therefore, although we might not see the trees begin to bud, we know that the potential is there. Shenishma b'sorot tovot. Even though it's not there, we're going to see good tidings. It's interesting because as Jews, we're called Zera Avraham, the seed of Abraham. And the question is, why are we called the seed of Abraham and not the children of Abraham? And the reason the rabbis give, one of the reasons is because before something grows, what do? You need to bury the seed. Now when you bury something, two things can be. You could bury something, heaven forbid, and it gets buried. Or you could be buried to grow again. The seed is buried to bring new potential, to bring something new, to bring something positive. And that's what we say we're Zera Abraham, because the Jewish people, so many times when it looks like we're being buried, it looks like our end, so to speak, we are really potential to rebirth, to grow again. And that's our Rosh Chodesh, is when the moon disappears, because when it looks like it's disappearing, it's growing again. It's also the month when we celebrate the 10th of Shvat, which is the day that the Lubavitcher Rebbe took over the leadership of the Chabad movement after the Holocaust. And again there, it was the darkest hour of the Jewish people after the Holocaust. Yet, the Rebbe recognized that although the seed might be buried, it's an opportunity for the greatest regrowth of spirituality, of Judaism, both in Israel and in the diaspora. It was that idea of Rosh Chodesh Shvat, Shenishma b'sorot tovot, to hear good tidings, to see the potential, to recognize that we're the seed of Abraham, and although it's the darkest hour, there's opportunity and hope for growth. We pray that the seed is only buried not because it's a finality, but because it's going to rebirth new fruit and new great things. You know, I heard this story. It's so important in this time, this message of Shenishma b'sorot tovot, because we're in such a painful and challenging, dark time. But we know and we hope and we pray that we will hear good tidings. We live in a world not just where Hamas wants to kill Jews, but where the world, as we begin to protect ourselves, takes us to the international court to say that we're committing genocide. Why? Because we want to protect ourselves. And not only doesn't the world help us, but the world accuses us of genocide when we finally able to protect ourselves. Not like the Holocaust, because here we have an army. But I heard this story. It's a tragic story about this soldier, Shaoli Grilnik, who was killed in Gaza 2 weeks ago. And his family was devastated. And they needed to go on a vacation. And they went to a hotel in the Arava just to get away for a week, to regroup as a family after this horrific passing of their son. But the problem is the father was saying Kaddish every day for his son. And in the place they were staying, there was no minyan. So he made a post on Facebook asking that if anyone's able to come help him make a minyan. And for the next few days when he was there on vacation, every morning, afternoon, and evening, tens of people were coming, strangers who never met him, to help him make a minyan so he could say Kaddish for his son. And not only that, but suddenly they started bringing food and refreshments to this family. You know, it might be a dark hour. It might be that it looks like the seed was buried. But we're having such a regrowth of the Jewish people in unity. May it be Shenishma B'sorot Tovot, that this Chodesh Tov we should hear good news. It should be the beginning of good tidings for the Jewish people, for Am Yisrael and for Eretz Yisrael. Have a great